happy holidays, as it is Christmas Day, or Christmas night, I should say. I'm filming this. I used the BH Cosmetics Naughty palette on my eyes, if anyone cares. I bought it because Karen Harris was talking about how nice it was, so I was like, I guess I'll go ahead and try it out. She was right. It's actually pretty good. I wasn't crazy about the color story and the size of the palette, which is why I was hesitant. But then I caught it at a good enough deal to where I was like, okay, I'll hook that up. So I got the I got it for $21.75, and then I think I got 20% off on top of that. So I was like, I guess that works. So that's how we got it on my eyes today. I wanted to try it today on a Christmas day and see how that goes. So I was drinking my little eggnog with my Baileys in it. I bought the Southern Comfort eggnog, and I thought they were gonna have like alcohol on it in it, but then it didn't. So then I had to buy like one of those little 10 for 10 Baileys or whatever. It's fine, whatever. Anyway, I should probably tell you what we're doing here. You read the title though, you know. We're gonna rate all my milk palettes. I only have 10 milk palettes now. I do have 5 stacks, but I didn't bring the stacks with me just because since they're trying to phase them out, I figured it wasn't really a need to put them in here. Although I will say my favorite stack is the Shapeshifter stack. Yeah, I remember in the video I said that I thought the price of it was too high, and I still do think the price of it is too high, considering one of the shades is the only shifter shades, and the rest of them you don't really see like a shift in. But be that as it may, we're talking about palettes today, so let's get into those. I have 10 melt palettes, so obviously we're gonna go 10 to number 1. And I feel like you should have a good idea of what's in the top 5 just based upon my milk preferences. But we're going to start off at the very bottom. So number 10 is, unfortunately, the 420 palette. Now, I really like this palette. I really love the color story of this palette. It's just really hard to blend. And the fact that the one shimmer in here is trash. This one right here is just like, why, Melt? I thought you loved us. Like, why are you doing us like this? Like, I was especially excited about, like, this little section right here. And then, like, this little section right here. I don't really care about the middle part. But, like, these 3... and like these 2 right here, I was most excited about. And they let me down, you know. I mean, like the yellow and the brown didn't let me down as bad as like this light shade right here. Like that one, it was just so disrespectful. So that is why this is at the very, very, very bottom. And the other weed palette is somewhere else. You'll have to wait and see. But the next one I have, number 9, is the Gemini palette. Now, I don't really like the form of this one. This is one of the first ones that they came out with that I actually like the color story of. Y'all know I wasn't feeling the 27 color story at all. It was not me. It was not a vibe. No, no, no. This one I like somewhat. Like, I like from here down this way. This color is nice, too. But I feel like a lot of these colors in here don't necessarily go well with my skin tone. Like, this brown doesn't really show up that well. This shimmer is okay, but I'm mainly on this side down here. And I didn't feel like this side down here was good compared to the other greens that they have to offer in their collection. That's why this is number 9 for me. Based upon all the other palettes I have from them, I just feel like I have better stuff from them with better greens and things of that nature. But, you know, I feel like, again, if you watch my channel enough, you know what my preferences are. And although that color story is my preference, the form of that to me isn't as good as the future ones they've come out with. So, number 8 is She's in Parties. I told y'all I would only buy this one if it was on a good deal, because I'm not really in love with this color story. Like, it's okay. Like, I like this shade right here and this mauve shade right here. The Skeleton Kiss, that's what it's called, right? Yeah, Skeleton Kiss shade is nice. But I'm not really into a lot of dark, grungy tones, because to me these are more berry tones and mauve. And again, since if you're on this channel, then you know I'm more of a mauve tone girl, so that's why I'm kind of gravitating toward this one and like this purple shimmer. And maybe this the dark and out of Vita, or maybe this one if I want to do like a dark smoky look. But these are colors that I rarely reach for besides like this one and this one and this one. So mainly like the first 4 colors in the palette is what I was reached for, and the 4 toward the back are not really exciting to me. That's why I waited till it went on sale, and then excuse me, got it as a deal that way. But like I just wanted to have it to add to my collection, because when they came out with the stack, I didn't buy the stack either, because like that's just not my color aesthetic. But I love melt, so I made sure I got it to add to my collection. So this is the Impulsive palette. I got this on a really good deal as well, because I wasn't obsessed with the packaging of it. There's nothing wrong with the palette itself. I don't like the packaging of this, and the fact that you have to keep all the plastic things in it in order for it to be okay or whatever, and the colors to not translate. And as you can see, these are a lot of the same similar tones that are in other palettes as well. Like you see the greens and blues from like the 420 I just showed you, and then you see more of these cooler tone shades here, which is to me, this is the side I like more, along with this little part right here. I'm not really excited about this part at the very top, but you know, I know some people like warm tones, so I figure that's why they popped it in there. Plus, it gives the color a little bit of pop of brightness, if you will. So I like the palette overall. It's just, again, with my preferences when it comes to melt, this just isn't necessarily that high up on my list, which is why it is number, what is this, number 7? Yeah, number 7, because this is number 6. So number 6 is Radioactive. Now, I was not blessed enough to get this stack when they had it, and then it kept going in and out of stock, and then they finally just stopped stocking it, and then they came out with this palette. So I just went ahead and bought this palette. This is a nice little 8-pan palette. It's a nice colorful palette from them, and I wanted to see how colorful tones would work for them as far as like pinks and oranges and stuff like that, because if you saw, they usually just do oranges and yellows and like more green and grungy-ish type shades. So it's nice to have a little like bright palette for them to see how it works. I know if I remember correctly, they still have this shade as a single, and I think they had this shade as like a single stack still, but the rest of these I think are supposed to be newer ones. I'm not exactly sure, because like I said, I never had that stack, but I really like this one because I like the fact that they dove into some color, if you will, and the color story is actually pretty nice. I'm not necessarily excited about the fact that there are no shimmers in here, it's all matte, but you know, it's a nice color story. It's a nice palette. The formula works on it pretty well, and that is why it is number 6 for me. Now we're getting into the top 5. So with the top 5, I feel like you should know where this is headed. So we're going to start off with one of the Christmas palettes, of course, because Christmas seems to be when they like shine and do like their best work. So of course, the Christmas palette is what I picked. I picked the Vita palette from the what is it, the Morte Eternal collection. I ended up getting this on sale from Sephora during, I think, their 20% off sale. They had this on sale and I got an extra 20%. So that's how I ended up buying it. It was like 35 bucks, and then I got 20% off the $35. So I thought it was good for that. And the color story is pretty nice. Like, I like this side mainly, and a little bit of the red side. I'm not really that big on the neutral side in the middle, but I know they needed deepening shades for the colors they had chose, so that's how they did that. But the formula of it is really nice. I heard people saying they didn't like the formula of this as well as the other one. And I mean, I can agree with that one. The formula of the darker one is better, which is why it's higher up. That's why you're seeing this one first. But I mean, I wouldn't say this is terrible compared to some of the other palettes they've come out with. Like the 420 is like literally at the very bottom. So this is a million times better than that, and a million times better than the Gemini. So this is a nice palette. I don't think they sell either one of these anymore. I know they had this one way longer than they had the Morte. Like the Morte just, honey, it left as soon as they posted it. I remember they posted on my birthday during the early access thing, and I didn't get my email like I was supposed to, and I was like DMing them like, I want to buy the Morte palette for my birthday as a birthday present to myself since it's on pre-order, but like you didn't email me the thing like you're supposed to. And they messaged me right back, which I appreciated, because I'm like, this might sell out soon, so I'm like, I need that code though. But I was able to get my hands on it, and you'll see it a little bit later. But number 4 is Smoke Sessions. I love Smoke Sessions. Like when I first saw this palette, it first came out during the holidays, I was actually not blessed enough to get it. I had to wait till they released it on 420 when they restocked it, because it sold out so quick. Like I was going to buy it within the same day, and then I didn't. And then at the end of that day, I was like, well, I should probably just go ahead and buy it now on the pre-order and just wait for them to ship it. And then or maybe that was just when they sold it. I don't know, but they ended up selling out of it. But I'm glad I didn't, because everybody had the issue with like the shadows busting out. And since I bought it during 420, mines don't do that. They had fixed that problem with the shimmers popping out of the pan because they were so soft. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get it then, so I didn't have to be like Karen Harris and rebuy it again, because all the ones they kept sending her after she bought the initial one, when she told them about the pans, they kept popping out of the pan, so she had to buy another one during the sale. And I just bought it when they came out with it during 420 and got it at regular price, but you know, I got it without the pans popping out. This is one of my all-time favorite green palettes. Like this one right here, I love it because I love this dark green to go with these shimmers, and then they have this shade to go with these shimmers. Like I feel like this is just a wonderful palette. Or if I just want to do all matte look and put one of these in the inner corner, one of these in the inner corner, I feel like it's just the perfect palette. This is like one of my all-time favorite green palettes. If I had to pick like my top 5 green palettes, this would definitely be in it. This is an amazing palette. I kind of want to do that video now. My top 5 green palettes, or maybe my top 10 green palettes. I don't think I have 10 though, so we will have to stick with 5. But you know, like I feel like 5 should suffice, because that's a lot of green palettes considering I only have 2 eyes. Next, I have the Morte palette from Melt Cosmetics. Duh, this is a Melt Cosmetics video. But this is my favorite of the two palettes, of course. As soon as you see the color story, if you watch this channel again, you'll know why. I love my blues and my greens. And what is the majority of this? Blues and greens, honey. Yes, I'm here for it. It's a vibe. I love it. This little red section is nice, even kind of nice too. My only thing is I feel like the darker shades don't transition on the eye the way that they look in the pan. I feel like they're darker than they look in the pan. And they don't give off the same pigmentation. Like, I remember this red especially. I feel like it didn't look like, you know, a burgundy red. It looked darker than it does in the pan. I don't remember how I felt about the gray, but I remember that red in particular because I was really disappointed with the fact that I thought it was going to be different than it was. So I was disappointed with that. But I still love this palette, and it's still one of my favorite melt palettes of all time. So that is why it is in the top 5. So what, of course, we know what the top 2 is, but which one is which? So, of course, the waiting room is number 2. So this is the collection from Melt this year. They got Beetlejuice with Melt X Beetlejuice, and this is the waiting room palette. This is the more grungy tone red with the grays in it. And it has Saw Girl in the imprint of the mattes. So this is what it looks like. You have not seen it before. I did 2 looks with each one of these palettes. So I did a more gray tone look with the bottom one, and then I did a different look with the top ones. I got the idea from Karen Harris. I remember her doing a look with this section right here, but I think she used this shimmer as her inner corner. I don't think I did that. I don't remember though. I think I used a red to pull all the other reds together. But this is a gorgeous palette. But, you know, if ever there is a green palette, the green palette usually and most likely will win over the red palette. For me, the red palette would have to be going some, because I'm not a big red eyeshadow person, as I'm wearing a red eyeshadow look. But I'm wearing it because it is Christmas Day or Christmas night. So that's why we have on the red in this situation. I don't genuinely just reach for reds, try to wear reds, go for reds. I'm just not a red type of girl. Okay, we're not here. But so number 1, of course, is the Recently Deceased palette. This is what the box looks like. And it's so cute because on the inside of this one, it says Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Let's go ahead and open up the palette. So this is what it looks like on the inside. So it has the greens at the top, and it has the purples at the bottom. So I really like this palette. And again, I did, I think I combined both of these rows with one and then combined the other ones to make another look, if I remember correctly, because I think I did this purple and then this green was on the lid. And then I think I did just like an all green look on top or something like that. I forgot exactly what I did, but I used both rows to make a nice little look. And I absolutely loved the looks I came up with. I love the tones of this palette. I especially love the packaging, like this green acrylic. I don't know, it's just a whole vibe. And especially since the formula is good in it, because Huda Beauty had a green acrylic like this and the formula was trash, honey. It was trash. Everybody knows those neon palettes were horrible. I hate the green one. The orange one and the pink one are better. Like, if I had to pick, I would pick the pink one out of those, but we're not talking about her. So it just made me think about that packaging when I looked at it. So these are all of my melt palettes, and this is the way I have ranked them. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all at times. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.